pass for the New Indian Express. I have with me Sonu Sood, possibly the most celebrated person and the biggest hero of our times. He's won hearts, minds, and really won a huge new following all across the country for the wonderful work he's been doing for migrants, whom he doesn't like to be called migrants. I may make clear because they're one of us. I think all of us are migrants at the end of the day. Sonu, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And as usual, you were with a family of who'd come from Andhra Pradesh, and you just resolved something. Tell us about it before we start.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I just got to know there's a family of four, mother, father, daughter, and son. They came from Andhra in the morning at 6 a.m. And it seems they were, at my building, which I just got to know. And the son wanted to get admission in an engineering college, and the parents didn't have the money to get him admitted. And the mother was crying, and she was depressed because the only son can't study, and he said, don't worry, you just go back to Hyderabad, I'll get the admission sorted tomorrow, and you will be able to join to your college, and don't worry about the fees and all, it will be done. So they were very happy, and I'm glad that, I can bring a little change in their life, so it's okay.
So, no, how are you doing it? I mean, it's there are only 24 hours in a human being's life, right? You know that. How are you managing to be in touch with everyone, to also help everyone? And yet, of course, yesterday it was very cool when you told that kid, was it yesterday when you said, if you, instead of the PS4, why don't you buy some books and read them?
Yeah. So, yeah, I know, Kaveri, that people are trying to get in touch with me, 24/7. Recently, I started this evacuation of international passengers who are stuck in different parts like Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Moscow, Manila, and all these places. So, the timelines are different. So I try to get in touch with those ambassadors, embassies. In the night, I'm again occupied getting in touch with all these students. Some Zoom calls to assure them, okay, you will get back to your families. The daytime goes organizing people. A lot of people are going from India to other parts of the world. So yeah, now it's a kind of a responsibility that's riding on my shoulders, which directs me to be on my toes always, because there's someone somewhere waiting for some kind of help, some kind of need. So I don't know how it's happening. I was not trained. I never planned this, but with the kind of responsibility that I've got, again, I think Almighty has given me that kind of energy and power also to handle this. So so far so good, yeah.
But it's amazing. How do you decide, Sonu? For instance, what catches your eye? That picture, for instance, where those two girls were carrying the plow, and you said that's not what they should be doing. They should be studying, and you sent a tractor. What moves you?
I would say there's a tinkle that happens. When I see a visual, when I see a tweet, when I see a message, when I meet a person in if they come to my place, or I get connected with someone somewhere in any part of the country. There's a tinkle that happens. Okay, this is right. They are genuinely
Right.
in need of money. They are genuinely in need of some kind of help. So I follow those instincts, and I just make that happen. Uh, and I, in last 120 days, I've realized, Kauri, there's so much of uh, sorrows. There's so much of poverty in our country that everyone needs some kind of help, or an assurance that, okay, don't worry, I'm there for you. And with I tell all my friends, I said, all these years of our lives we have wasted not doing anything. Okay, we did our part, we were doing our bits, but I feel that every single day you should at least have 15 minutes of your day to do something right in your life, do
Mm.
help someone in whatever little means you can. So I feel, then we will have a better world to live in. There's so much of need that is there in this world. And I realize that when I get 600, 700 mails every 6 hours, 7 hours, thousands of messages on my social media, and I miss those, like from past 3, 4 hours, I've been trying to solve few things, but I know in these 4 hours, there will be hundreds of requests on my timeline. So I don't want to miss a genuine one. Okay, someone really needs. And I sometimes just see those messages, my dad is very, very serious. I remember, there was a girl in Patna. The dad was very serious, and she was messaging me on Twitter back to back. Please save him. We have a plasma donor, but we need an admission in AIMS Patna. So it's not happening. So then I spoke to the DM. He was trying. Then the DM got affected corona, so he got into quarantine. But
God.
somehow today I got that admission done in the morning, and she was
Wow.
very happy. She said, I'm now we got this admission, and my dad is in the safe hands. So like I said, you never know if you're late in responding. I don't want anyone to suffer. So continuously I'm on it, and I don't know how long I can be on it, but I want this to continue forever.
But Sonu, it must be emotionally very exhausting as well. No, not just physically, but emotionally, because so many people are investing so much of their lives in you. How does it feel?
It's a different experience. I get loads of letters every day. I get mails I can't check because there's so much of rush.
Yeah.
I tell my family members, okay, now this is your duty to go through all those letters.
Oh, good.
Just
So
go
you put them to work.
yeah, I put them to work. I say you just go through them and find the right ones, and just see, you feel okay, this one is a genuine needy one. Just shortlist and just share with me. I got people following the medical cases, those medical cases, and Kaveri, the sad part is there are some people who are doing well in their lives, suddenly because of this thing, and they are not in a position to ask for a ration for 2 months or ask for any kind of help, but I know that they need it. Medicines, you can't. I've opened accounts in different medicine shops. Okay, boss, whatever medicine you need, just give us. I'm not going to pay you money for that because I don't want them to misuse it. Give me the list of medicines and it'll be delivered at your home. So we have these accounts at medical shops. Ask for medicines, you will be given. So I'm
Really?
doing these
Is
bits
that all across India or in particular cities?
all across India. All across India. We have I've tied up with few very big medicine shops who have otherwise we couriered them also. There,
Right.
there were a lot of my assistant directors when I did movies and all. They were not doing well. They had their family problems and all. So they shared, कि sir, medicines का बहुत problem है. So I couriered them to Andhra, to Chennai, and all these places and all. So I think medicines are one of the very important
Ah.
need, very important need which everyone needs, especially for the parents and also. I've slowly planned. I was not trained to do it, but slowly it's getting programmed.
So you're slowly dividing the work among various people. Good.
That's right.
Because otherwise, one person, it's not possible to handle all these cases. It's
And
impossible.
you and Gavi, I don't know most of the people who are working with me. I haven't met them in my life. I never knew them. There was someone who said, "Yeah, I'm calling from Kanpur. I live in Assam. I can be any help." I said, "Just follow my tweets. If I forward you a link of a tweet, just try to find the authenticity. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. This guy is in Calcutta, in Jalpaiguri, all these small interiors. So they'll find the authenticity of that person, and then they'll get back to me. Okay, यार ये genuine है, चलो
Right.
बना दो इसके लिए काम कर रहे हैं. It's like that.
So in a way, crowdsource कर दिया आपने थोड़ा बहुत. Otherwise, एक आदमी के लिए तो बहुत ही मुश्किल है.
It's impossible, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not possible. Like when we had sent these thousands of migrants every day, and
In
the
buses.
number is more than 1.5, close to that 1.5 lakh people we have sent them.
1.5 lakh.
Yeah, and imagine, when you get 60, 70,000 requests every second day. So
Yeah.
how to maintain those numbers, those records when you don't know them in person, when you haven't met them in person? They come with loads and loads of stuff from their places, and they are sitting at the station with little kids, newborns. They want to go back. They know that Sonu has promised, and he'll come to the station or to the bus stop and send us back to their homes. And when you land there, you have these eyes looking at you कि sir आज घर भेज दो वगैरह हमें हम आज रह तो नहीं जाएंगे, and then you make sure that whether it's 2 a.m. in the morning, but you have to send them all back to their loved ones. And I can tell you that the feeling of seeing them off is the most special feeling in my life. I haven't enjoyed giving a blockbuster of 200 crores, being a part of a movie like that, but when I see a bus or a train going and those smiles on their faces, I think this is what life is.
Right. So Sonu, what really prompted you to do it? Was it one visual? Was it a series of visuals? What was the kickoff point for this new drive?
I was distributing food to various people, almost 45, 50,000 people every day. There's a very close friend of mine. Her name is Niti Goyal. She's a childhood friend. So we were doing that drive. And there's a place in Mumbai called Kalba Chowk where a lot of migrant movement was there. And somehow I helped these 350 bunch of people sent to Karnataka with a lot of permissions was required, from those states, the DMs, ADMs, DCPs, medicals, all this. But somehow I was able to manage, and I had sent the first lot. And when I was coming back from there, from Thana to my place, it takes almost 1 hour, 1.5 hours. In that drive of 1.5 hours, there was only migrants on the roads, sitting under the bridges, sitting on the highways with little kids, no food. And I said, man, this is just this 1.5 hour drive. Imagine people from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there are millions, on the road with little kids. They don't have any way to go back. So this can't be true. I can't just ignore and sit at my home and tweet about it. Okay, I'm very sorry that this is happening and do something about it. It's easy to blame our government. It's easy to blame individuals. Okay, we are paying taxes. Why they're not taking care of that? It's not. I feel you have to believe that you are the government. You have to do your bit. Okay, if someone is not doing it or someone is not taking care of it, you have to come out and do it. Whatever little bit you can do to the best of your capability. So I think that I chose that drive. And once I went out, every single day was a challenge. And every single day I used to achieve that goal. Next day, the goal became bigger. The next day, it became bigger. So, and I was just, able to do it.
First it was buses, then it became charter planes, and it became international charter planes. I
That's
mean,
right.
those permissions themselves are so difficult to get. How did you manage those?
I remember when, obviously, with trains, with buses, it's a very difficult um, place to actually survive. With lockdowns happening, with all these different states having different
Different rules.
rules, guidelines. I had the guidelines for every single state. Okay,
Yeah.
if you want person wants to go from Maharashtra to UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, or from Punjab to Bihar, what are the states what are the lockdown periods? How will they get out?
Yeah.
I spoke to the police guys, the DIGs, DGPs, DMs, all these places. Okay, ma'am, बस से इतने लोग भेज रहा हूँ, so just let them
What
in.
would you
And
do? Just pick up the phone and say, "Hello, I'm Sonu Sood."
yes, I used to do that, but again, it was a process. They used to travel with proper documents. I never wanted कि मेरे if there were 10 buses, with 500 people leave from Maharashtra and they stopped at MP border. They said,
Yeah,
boss, you can't go. And they can't go without the papers. It's not
they
possible.
can't exactly.
The only, the process to get one permission is first medical, then from a local police station where these people belong to, the file moves to DCP. From the DCP, it goes to that state's ADM. From ADM,
Right.
it goes to DM. And again, from DM, it goes to DCP and back to the senior P. And then the file gets approved. So
And
that's
each through each state.
that's each state.
Yes.
For every single individual that's sitting in the bus, his name, number,
Yes.
Aadhaar card, every single detail, and his local address where he's going.
Yeah.
Everything is to there. These people are not capable of filling those forms and filling these
Exactly.
details. So imagine we have to fill those 1.5 lakh forms of all these 1.5 lakh people, send them back home, where sometimes you get stuck at different state borders, speak to them, video conferencing with the cops. Arey, Sonu sir, aap ho yaar. Okay, no, sir, plus you go. So then, in first 10, 15 days, it was a bit difficult, but yeah, we were able to manage it. But in that 15 days, the word spread, okay, this guy in Mumbai is helping these migrants reach back to their
Right.
home. So any state I used to call, they were very helpful and they were, ready to help. And this is how everyone went back to their homes. But next, the process started with the international evacuation.
Yeah.
When in Kyrgyzstan, there's a lot of 4,000 medical students. They started tagging me, okay, help us. One of the students unfortunately died.
Right.
And they were very, very sad. They were depressed. The parents started messaging me that, Sonu, you are the only hope you can save us. And I couldn't sleep in the night. I said, no, how to make it happen. I went through those all norms, those permissions. I spoke to people in MEA. I spoke to embassies there. I spoke to the ambassadors. Then I made a roadmap. Okay, this is the way we can get it. And that's the first time I did the first evacuation of 175 students. I said, if the first flight lands, I'll make sure that everyone is evacuated. And the first flight landed. And then the whole thing started, and all these people were evacuated. And their parents, they came to my place also in Mumbai. They thanked that we are with the kids. And when Kyrgyzstan happened, Uzbekistan wake up. The students from Uzbekistan, okay, sir, you can only have. Then Kazakhstan woke up. Then Russia woke up. Then from Russia, then Philippines. So
Right.
Philippines, I already got first two lot of people to charges. But now, last 2 days, from last evening to now, I've got 800 people request. They are stuck there and they want to go back. And now from people from Canada and from people in India who wants to
You
go to
want to
Philippines or
go,
Manila.
right,
So
right.
now every single person is after me. Okay, you have to send back to us. And strangely, I'll tell you, there's strange requests. Now, I mean, what to say, this PMC bank thing. They said, Sonu, you only can solve this PMC bank. And I said, how can I do that? That is not. So, so I think that trust factor, which gives you kind of different power that you want to do it, and it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when there's that famous dialogue, na, in Om Shanti Om, when the universe wants something, then it, everything
Yep, yep,
conspires to make it happen.
may happen. Yeah, yeah.
But Sonu, it's very interesting. I mean, if you look at it as a case study, it's actually a managerial triumph, because you're not only handling permissions, you're also handling human beings and human beings in great distress, so
Yeah.
emotionally, physically, they're at their lowest. And then all these regulations and a fear of an unknown disease. So if you look at it, it's a tremendous managerial triumph. I mean, it can actually go up, I think, as a case study in business schools. So this kind of leadership, did you ever know that you had it in you? Were you in school or college? Were you a student leader? Were you a head boy? Were you that kind of a person?
No, I know how to take stress.
Right.
People, I remember in my college days, I organized a fashion show with all these top models, and I was a student in second year of my engineering, and that
In
was a big
Nagpur.
project in Nagpur.
Yeah.
And I somehow managed to do it, and I can handle stress. I've done shows, I've done handled productions and all, but this kind of scale, like you said, and that too during a pandemic
Yeah.
and when you're handling human lives, you
Yeah.
imagine if you call 4,500, 5,000 people on a station or a bus stop, there can be a law and order problem.
Yeah.
The people you don't know even a single person, and when you call, okay, you know what used to happen. I choose those 2,200 people. Okay, these 2,200 people are going to go tomorrow at 6 p.m. from Vadala station or Vadala terminus, and we inform them with a code. Okay, Sonu Sood 423, Sonu Sood 424, and these codes are given to 2,200 people. When they are going to WTT, and everyone knows Sonu Sood is sending back to your homes, so they will tell their friends, "Arey yaar, main ja raha hu, Sonu Sood is sending na. We'll go. You also come." That one person carries another 4, 5. Then
Right.
the word spreads. The word spreads, and they know that okay, by 6:30, Sonu is going to send people back to their homes, and they're so desperate. They are living on the roads with little kids, so they reach that spot, and when they reach there, there are 5,000, 6,000 people standing. I don't know anyone. When I get those buses, the other 2,200 gets boarded, and
Yeah.
my 2,200 are still on the roads. And
Right.
they said, "Sir, आपने हमें बुलाया था. We are still there with see our little kids. They'll put your kid in front of you who's a 7-day-old newborn." I
Yeah.
said, "No, wait, yeah." So I'll request those 2,200 to unboard. Boss, please come down. Let these guys board it, and I'll send you the next buses. Until 3 a.m. in the night, I'm getting those new buses, going to the police stations, going to the doctors, going to all these people. And in the middle of night, I'm getting offices opened in UP, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand. You get those permissions, right? Because 3 a.m. these people are also leaving. So you are literally living on the roads with these people, eating food with them. And I never knew that, I was one of those migrants sitting with them, and looking like a migrant also.
So quite amazing. Did you not fear for your own safety, Sonu? Because after all, it is a pandemic.
If I would have thought, got into too much of detailing, okay, pandemic is there, if I touch something, this
Yeah.
happened, this wouldn't have happened. My family always used to get scared. My wife, my kids used to say, "Are you sure you want to go today? Aap bhej to sakte, you can call someone and someone will manage to do it." But if I am there on the spot, I can take those calls. I can I can handle, I can take those, I can call another 20 buses, I can go to the police station. I know the cops will give me the permissions. I'll go, the ADMs, DMs, they'll give me the permission. If I depute someone, there are chances that few people will be left. I'll tell you a case. There were 2,700 people who were going from Mumbai to UP. I got around about 1,000 people boarded at Bandra station. And the next 1,500, 1,700 people were supposed to board at Vasai station, which is, again, if you go by road, it takes 2.5 hours, 2 hours. But by train, it takes 45, 50 minutes. So I always used to go to that Vasai station also, where the maximum number of people are there. And
Right.
they were supposed to board it. But at one point, one of my people said, "Sir, don't worry, sir, we have been at Bandra, we will drive 2.5 hours, we'll manage there, our people are there, we'll board it." On that particular day, out of 1,700, there were 3,000 people on the station.
Um,
Cops were there. It went a little haywire. A lot of people got hit. My volunteers got slapped, hit by cops and all. My chartered accountants got hit, and there was a chaos. And 1,000 people got stranded. They couldn't go. They couldn't board the train, and they were on the roads with little kids crying. And I
right.
said, let's get these people in some hotels, in some hotels. I got a hotel there. I got a lot of people there. I made them stay there, and we booked a lot of hotels close to small places. Okay, yaar, inko therao, and tomorrow again morning I'll get these buses and I'll send them home. And it happened. So I know. The matter of fact is that I have to be there on the field to make sure that everyone gets voted. Otherwise, it won't happen. So
Right.
I was there. I said, yeah, I have another flat above in the same building. I used to go and sleep there. Not used to never cuddle my kids and all. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to take care of them. Yeah.
Right. So, Sonu, what were the alliances that you were able to build? Because this is, although it's led by you, it is also a lot of people coming together, volunteering with you. So, who are the transporters? Who provided the planes? Who are some of these people who became part of the Sonu Sood movement?
They were all, there's one guy who's working as a salesman, but he's
Right.
very good with computers. Like, okay, boss, your thing is you have to make the list. There's an IT guy. He said, so no, I can make the list of people. I can make those Excel sheets of the,
Right.
okay, man, you're in charge of those Excel sheets. One is very good with emailing and all. So this girl called Ashma, like, Ashma, the emails bhejni hai fatafat. So these are all people who are working. They are working, doing some jobs, some small jobs, some big jobs, but they have that zeal to do it. I said, "मैं पानी लेकर आऊँगा, I'll bring all the food there, and I'll serve the food to the people at the station." So they are, when they tasted that feeling of happiness,
Right.
when you come on the station on these buses and seeing those people, so they said, "Sir, this is my job. No matter what, I will do." Like I tell my chartered accountant, I said, "Pankaj, you have to come and you have to just take care of these things. Just make those listing and be there on the station before I come." Then the numbers increased so much. All his team of 12, 13 people who works in the office, everyone was in the station doing their bit. So it became like a movement. We never knew who was doing what part. And surprisingly, most of the people I met after I sent 1.5 lakh people, I never knew them. I just knew those names. Okay, there's one person called Ashma, there's one person called Karthik, but I never met them ever in my life.
Right. What about the flights? How did you organize those?
The first flight was from Cochin to Bhubaneswar. That was a big journey. It was like a movie thing. 177 people stuck, 167 girls working in
Girls,
a
right?
stitching factory,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Ernakulam, and they want to go to Bhubaneswar in a place called Kendrapada
Right.
in Odisha. And they are in a bad shape. When I spoke to them, they were crying and all this. I said, "Please get us." So first, I tried to organize those buses, but with 2,400, 500 kilometers, a lot of lockdowns. You can't get out of Kerala. This is a problem. That is a problem. So I was not very confident that if I send these girls on buses and they get stranded somewhere in between, so there will be a problem.
Also a
So
security risk.
security reasons. So I got these airports open for 2 hours. 2 hours I got it Cochin airport open with lot of phone calls I had to make, and 2 hours I got it Bhubaneswar. In the middle of night, 3 a.m. These girls were we got them
And
in
which
buses.
airlines was it? Was it some
That
airlines that
no,
helped
that
you?
was Air Asia where I
Okay.
got it. Uh, Apart from that, this is not just the airlines. The thing is the permissions you have to get. You have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make those calls.
Okay.
Now the airlines were always there. Where they talk about the international evacuations, airlines are there. They
Right.
always existed. But who's going to get those permissions? Who's going to get all those people there their verifications, their listings, speaking to the ambassadors,
Right.
embassies, landing permissions. So a lot of things you have to do it. They airline will say, boss, हम लोग चले जाएंगे, आप बताओ ये permissions लाके दो ना. You
Right.
have to pick up a phone and call it
Call everyone.
ambassador. And
Yeah.
I remember there was a case in one of the countries, and ambassador said, I can't give the permission. It's under total lockdown, and this is not going to happen. And sorry, we can't help you. And done. The talk is over. And I said, man, these people are waiting to come. And then I again called. I said, man, look, these. My only intention is to get them reunited with their families. They are in bad shape. One of the students has already lost his life. My only thing is, whatever little good I want to do in my life, be a part of it. Just make it happen somehow, and they have to go back. She said, okay, give me 2 hours. After 2 hours, we get the permission, and they all fly. So this is, there's no rule, there's no formula to make it happen. But I think out of emotions, they connect and they do it for me.
Takes a lot of persuasion also. You have to persuade.
Yeah, you have to bend few rules also. Yes.
Right. But Sonu, not everyone has been very happy with what you've been doing. The Shiv Sena was a little unhappy with your work. Why was that? What was all that about?
I think that was only for a day. When I
Yeah,
remember that the article came,
in
the
Samba.
people, yeah, in Samna, and a lot of my journalist friends, they called, Kya, what is your say on it? I said, I don't have to say anything. There's no truth to it. There's no spine to what they've written. So there's no comments from me. And I have, on that day, particular day, almost 4,500, 5,000 people were traveling to UP and Bihar. I said, I have to go and let me handle it. So I didn't take any calls that day. I was busy getting those permissions and all. And then they said, it's better to, we know that you don't have anything to do, but I think it's better you meet the CM and, just sit and sort this out. So I said, okay, in the night, I'll catch up once I send all my people back home. It's a very close friend of mine. He's a minister, Aslam Sheikh. He said, Sonu, bhai, chalo, and we'll have a cup of coffee there. We went, we had a cup of coffee, and they were very sweet. They said, Sonu, anything you need from our front, we are there for you. आप बस हमें बताइए और हम लोग सब कर देंगे आपके लिए. And they were very sweet. Udagi and Aditya, one of the nicest people I know. I know them since so many years. He said, there was a confusion, and I think all this happened. But we are there for you, and you're doing a great job. We are so proud of you. And that's it. And next
That's
day,
it.
everything was back to normal. Yeah.
So, so there's no bad feeling, no ill feeling anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. If imagine if a Maharashtra government is not helping you, how can you get thousands of people, the
Right.
movement of these 1,000 people? So yeah, they were very helpful, and they knew that I am doing everything out of pure love, and I just want to do good to those families. So they knew that.
Right. So, no, how has all this changed you as a person, as an artist?
I would say I've reinvented myself, as a person, as an individual. I don't know, as an artist, but um, a, a, a blockbuster of 200 crores doesn't give you that kind of happiness
Right.
when you play this character of your life. I would have played many roles, but I think this was the most special role of my life. My mom and dad are not there with me; they're sitting somewhere in the heavens. But I always used to tell them, "Mom, I'll make you proud someday." And every time I did a film, I thought, "Okay, I made them proud," but no, it was not. That was not the truth. And now I made them proud. I feel when her colleagues from the college, she was a professor. When my dad's lot of business mates, they call me. They said, "Sonu, कि हमें बड़ा फख्र महसूस होता है कि you have done so much, and wish Shakti ji or Saroj ma'am was there." And I think they are making those things happen. So now I believe that okay, this was my role, and I was waiting for
This was
that
your
one
destiny.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when you get back into the world of make believe and makeup and drama and action, how will you feel?
In these 100 days, I got around about 4 to 5 scripts to read from good
Right.
directors. I couldn't read not even one script. I haven't read. So I messaged them. I said, sorry, sir. I'm just tied up with all these people and all. I'll read it. I can't focus on that script. I prefer going through those tweets and messaging someone, boss, don't worry, I'm there. I'll get this sorted. I can't focus on my scripts. I said, sir, let me finish this, and I will do it. And I'm shooting for some few ads and all. I'm shooting for another program also. And just before getting connected with you, I'm hosting a show for a TV channel. So I was going through the script. So it's so difficult to you to concentrate on that, because you know that someone is waiting somewhere. I
Right.
know someone is waiting down, come from Hyderabad, with some I mean some kind of feeling
Life
that
and death
Sonu,
problem, life and death. Whereas this is just art.
it's unreal, it's unreal. I remember, when I used to when I came to Mumbai and I had those pictures, my photographs portfolio in my hand, I used to go to different offices. Every office you enter with the hope, okay, when they'll see your pictures, they'll say, yeah, this is the guy, man, we are going to launch you, we're going to give you an ad. It never happened. Every time you go there, you come back um, with no work. And when I see all these people coming to my building or approaching me, I see myself
Right.
when I saw those images. अरे यार ये लोग उम्मीद से आए. They know that they have a son who wants to do engineering, but they can't afford it. Imagine if I can help them and he becomes an engineer tomorrow. He's so successful in his life.
Yeah.
I think that there can't be anything better than that. So I just try to do my bit. Yeah.
So does it remind you of your struggling days? Do you feel were there times when which were very bad sometimes where you thought that I just have to go home back to Moga, or what did you feel? What did you feel at your lowest when you were struggling?
I never felt back going back to Moga. I knew that I will make it happen. I remember my mom used to say that, Sonu, you have left this city, and now you have to make your dreams come true. We are there for you. We will always motivate you, but you have to make that. Only that can make you happy in life. So I knew that I will make it one day. But yes, I had gone through my share of rejections. I remember for 3.5 years, I gave hundreds and thousands of auditions for ads for different brands. I never got selected even in one. And I
Right.
always used to wonder, yeah, मैंने audition तो बड़ा अच्छा देखा, I acted well, I was looking good on camera, but why are they not taking me? And now, when I'm sitting in front of you today, now every single brand in the country is approaching me. They
Right.
want me to do a film for them. They want to shoot a movie with me. So I feel it's just a phase that you experience in life. Everything is temporary. The best part that's going to stay with me forever is these 140, 50 days that I've spent with the migrants. A lady sitting in Madhubani with his son named as Sonu Sood.
I
When I see
know,
that,
how nice.
and he'll always be one Sonu Sood living in that Madhubani or in UP. There's a lady who's making a house in Jalpaiguri. I helped her make one house. Today the construction started there. So he said she was in a bad shape. I said, okay, I'll make small house for you. You can live there and all. She's named that house at Sonu Sood Nivas. So I mean, I'll have a house in Jalpaiguri.
Someone named his shop Sonu Sood
Yeah,
also.
it's a Sonu Sood welding workshop.
Ha
So
ha.
in Odisha. So I think those are my real achievements. Those are my awards, which you can't put in words. This is something you uh, by giving a big movie or doing something very good in life, you can't get that kind of love which I experience now.
Yet movies have their own place, and you obviously, I mean, you are made for the big screen, and you do love movies. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stuck around for
True.
so long, and you are very successful now. So when you see your career, and when you see some of the roles that you've done, and some iconic roles, whether you're playing villain or hero doesn't really matter. I think a Chedi Singh is as much of a hero as, say, Chulbul Pandey.
Till one day, that's right.
Exactly. So, when you look back at your career, what is the best thing about it?
The best thing about me was, I never categorized myself as playing a positive or a negative or a
Right.
comedy role. I just followed those instincts. I've said no to the biggest of banners. I've done roles which I was not convinced, but I molded in the process. I spoke to the director. Okay, Chedi Singh. Okay, he's not a serious guy. We can make him a little funny. We
Right.
molded it. So yeah, the best thing about my career was I've grown as an actor. I was not a trained actor. I was an engineer who had dreams, and I came and I learned everything in front of the camera. But the only thing was the zeal was there to do well in life. Every time I heard action, it gave me that kick. Okay, man, this is my word, and I want to give my best. And I think that keeps me going. And in fact, I'm a good learner every day. Every single director I work with, I've always try to learn something from him on the sets, whether I did films in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, English, Chinese, whatever. So I think every single day I have learned something, and I'm still learning those lessons.
But the South industry has been special to you, isn't it?
Of
The,
course,
yeah. What did they see in you, which for a long time even Hindi films didn't see in you?
I owe, I think, my career to South.
Yeah,
They are the ones who had put that trust in me, which Bollywood didn't do it when I started. And still, I would say my best of roles I've done in South. The
yeah,
kind of satisfaction I get in South, I get more satisfaction working down South than in Bollywood. I say it on record most of the
right,
time. um, the when now, okay, Bollywood has become more organized, more in place. But when I came, I remember we used to have a morning sunrise call sheet in South. The morning 7 a.m. the first shot has to happen
wow,
with the sunrise. So that discipline I learned from South.
right,
The day we started the shoot, they used to say, okay, the movie will release on 12th of October. The movie used to release on 12th of October.
right,
So you grew seeing that success, failure. Bollywood was not that organized, but slowly it became in the last couple of years. But whatever, I've said no to many Bollywood movies to do movies down south. A lot
right,
of my Bollywood directors used to say कि यार तू Bollywood films करने आया है और साउथ का थोड़ा ठीक है साउथ करना वहाँ पैसे बना के आना you do some earn some money and do Bollywood. I said no, that is my passion.
right.
That is something somewhere I feel at home when I work down south. So that's why I think that's I accepted South industry. That's why people down south accepted me as an actor.
Right. And there's a different kind of love that they have for you there, na? Especially in Telugu cinema and Tamil cinema. There's a very different kind of relationship you have with your fans there.
The kind of love South Indians have, it's you can't put in words. They are
Right.
genuine. They are genuine. They once they love you, the love stays forever. You can feel in their eyes when you go there, when you go on the stage, when you go with them, or we are parked at a signal and you suddenly see a bike coming next to you. The kind of smile they give you, you know that man, this is what you have earned in life. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's different.
Right. Your best role, was it Arundhati? I found that quite larger than life, very dramatic, good fun.
Yeah, I don't know if it was good. It was a tough movie. I remember they took 34 days from me to shoot it, and I shot for 140 days. So that was
140 days.
days. It was crazy. And, we were only just two characters in the movie, me and
Yeah,
Anushka. And
yeah,
it was a tough, getting into that getup, removing that getup. I used to hardly sleep for 1 hour, 2 hours those days. Morning 3:34, I used to come at Annapurna Studios, do my makeup, get ready by 7:38, do my first shot, and again, whole day we are shooting, whole night we are shooting. 2 o'clock we back up. I remove my makeup. It takes 1 hour to remove it, go back to the thing, and again come back in 1.5, 2 hours. So that was very difficult. And I remember when I once finished the film, I told my director, boss, I'm so tired. Please, Abhi, agar if there's even 1 day of reshoot, please don't call me. And I remember as soon as the phone used to ring, I said, sir, 1, 2 shot. It's again getting into the getup. No, please don't do it. So I used to get shit scared when people used to call me for that film. But when the film got released, I remember
yeah,
after 4 days, my producer called. He said, Sonu, if you want to see what the real phenomena is, you have to come and watch the movie with
right.
these people in the theaters. I came, I remember there's a single screen theater. There's madness on the roads. The theater was full. On the road in front of the theater was full of people. And when I said, are these people there to see this movie? I said, yes, they are waiting for to see the movie. It was phenomenal. And I think all that hard work that we have put in was really worth it.
And in a way, I always felt that Arundhati was a precursor to Bahubali. It had a lot of the same elements. And I think that pan-Indian film that Bahubali became was a lot due to films like Arundhati. Don't you think?
Of course, yes. I think that was one seed that gave birth to a new cinema, which people believed, which was larger than life, a word that people had seen in comics or when our elders used to narrate us the
Yeah,
stories. And when they saw that on cinema, they believed, okay, this is what
it is possible.
actually entertainment is.
Right, right. So, Sonu, what is the situation in Bollywood now with this whole insider outsider struggler kind of debate that's going on? How do you feel about it?
I feel this will always be there. When I came, I had to go through different offices, struggle, give pictures, get rejected, again go back next morning. But when you have an actor or a director's son, obviously they are going to have a big launch. Everything is going to be easy. Tomorrow, if my son wants to get into acting, life will be easy for him than it was for me. So I would say it's everywhere. It's not just in Bollywood. You talk about corporate, you talk about any field. People who have got connections, they'll make life easy for the next generation.
Right.
But again, I always tell every newcomer who wants to get into Bollywood, you should have the nerves of steel to come here. You have to have that kind of patience and perseverance. Okay, once it may it okay. When I came to Mumbai, I gave myself 1 year. Okay, if something happens in 1 year, I'll stay. Otherwise, I'll go back and look after my family business. In 1 year, I hardly came to know actually which road leads to which studio.
Yeah.
Hardly it's like that. And that's I would say those facts come in front of you and they stand in front of you and say, boss, no, this is the reality. Just face the reality or just go back. So I tell every newcomer, boss, if you have that patience, come. Otherwise, don't try to get into this field. So I think it was always there. And it's not easy for, I would say, a person from an insider also. He has to prove, he has to be talented to survive. That doesn't matter you are someone's son or someone's daughter and you can be a star. Okay, you can get your first break, but you have to be talented to survive. So I think it's a challenge for them also.
Sonu, my last question is about your fitness. You really are an ideal in terms of the fitness levels, in terms of the ideal sort of body that a star should have. And it is a visual medium, so obviously this is important. But how, what is the importance that you place on fitness in your life and in your work?
So when I started going to the gym and I got introduced to fitness, I never thought I wanted to become an actor. I enjoyed spending time in the gym. When the fitness bug hit me, I realized this is something it has to stay with me forever. And from that day till today, I work out every single day.
When did it
In my
sort of,
college days, in my Nagpur days, in my first year of college, I went into those fitness mode, and now still I work out every single day. I have made one rule in my life that there are only 22 hours in my day. The rest 2 hours are only for fitness. No matter I come back at 2 o'clock, and then I 1 a.m., 4 o'clock, I work out. I maybe for half an hour, 45 minutes, but I give those moments where I feel that okay, this is my word, and that's what I enjoy the most.
so that's your sort of time for yourself that you give to yourself.
Yeah, I used to, but not these 100 days because whenever I'm working out again, I have an appointment air, someone's talking, okay, boss, yeah, what time is the flight? Okay, I'm making those arrangements, give me 5 minutes and all. So I've not been able to work out the way I wanted. And the first time in my life, I missed those 7 to 8 days of workout where almost I was out 22 hours and I couldn't work out. But I never missed that workout. I always used to miss it if I didn't get time because of my shoot. But this time I never missed it. I said, man, what I'm doing is better than
Much
something
better.
what I used to do it. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Sonu Sood. It's such a pleasure and all more power to you. And I hope you do even better for yourself and for others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, now. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much. God bless. Thank you.
you.